Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel, a Bears podcast by a Bears fan. I'm your host, Terry, and we're going to talk about Mitch Trubisky versus Nick Foles today. I don't think there's any actual real tangible news, but I see a lot of people talking about this. I guess y'all just really want to talk about football because, you miss it. And just to remind you, if you want to send a message, I only had one person message me. Everyone comments, they talk so much. Oh man, I wish I could. Go to the link down there at the bottom, Speak Pipe, leave your message, and I will put it on the show if it's appropriate, and we can discuss what you want to discuss. Also, this podcast can be found on all podcast platforms. Hopefully soon going forward, definitely on Spotify right now, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have it on all platforms. So all that being said, the question I think that a lot of people are talking about is who would you rather have? As far as the actual competition, I think it's pretty boilerplate. I do see this conversation on the national media everywhere, and I think that's just because we got nothing else to talk about. But quarterback battles are actually not as common as they used to be, and they always are good talking points. So I think it's a combination of those two. But as far as the actual battle, I mean, I don't know that this is going to be American Gladiator or a cage fight. It's kind of standard procedure. The only thing is different is that they're not in the facilities right now as they are normally. And as much as people think we're heading around the curve, I think in July, August, people are going to get a rude awakening, and this might be a much more of a delay than people think. But let's just say it was normal. They're going to get Trubisky gets the first reps, but they're more than likely give him equal reps. They'll see how they do in the quarterback room. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. And then we'll see in the preseason how well they're playing and what type of rhythm they have. And that's pretty much it. Now, as far as my personal opinion, I think they want Nick Foles. I think Nick Foles has this in the bag. And even to the question of who do you want to start, I think my answer is the same. It's Nick Foles. I absolutely. Now, I understand Nick Foles has not shown us on a long-term basis what he can do. But as far as his skill set is different from Trubisky's, not crazy different, but it's different. And I did my comparison film breakdown. I guess I could put that in the description if you're on YouTube. But yeah, I did that, and there's differences there. It's not crazy, but there are differences. And I think that Foles just processes better. And now Foles does have more of a, let's say, appetite for risk. And you would think I should take that back. What Bears fans want and their idea of our offense is you want a safe quarterback that doesn't take risks, protects the ball while we run it and play defense. And theoretically, Trubisky would work if we actually ran the ball really well. And so since that equation isn't there, that kind of changes the whole dynamic. And we'll see what changes with the offense. But in my mind, Nagy has no interest in making this a run team. Even if he did, what did we do on the O-line? Somebody please let me know. So I've been ringing this bell for a long time about our run game and our O-line and our abilities as an offensive line. And even if James Daniels turned out to be as top tier not top tier, but as good as I thought he was never a power player. He was always lauded for his supreme agility. And Cody Whitehair, again, not a power player. So I've talked about this many times. So even at our best, we weren't going to be a shove it down your throat. Now, keep in mind, when the Seattle Seahawks were giving everybody the juice with the run game, they were a zone-heavy team. So you don't necessarily have to be power pigs to dominate in the run game. However, once again, we seemingly have shored up the Rashad Coward issue. But even still, I just don't see us really taking our run game to the next level. I don't see our skill set matching up across the O-line, and our scheme never matched. So we'll see what they do this year, and then we can talk more about it. But going forward, let's look at it like we saw last year. There's not much of a run game there to protect the quarterback. So if you're saying Nick Foles is a little more risk heavy, I think you got to be. The way Nagy sets it up, if there's no vertical threat, then especially with curls, and I understand the reason behind it. Like, look, I don't like things that are stale, especially if it isn't super effective for you. And so obviously the curls work for other teams. And not to say that it can't work, but I'd rather see other things, especially with just what I like as a coach in our skill set. And so if you have that and you have no vertical attack, then defenses are just going to sit back and rally to the ball on you, especially when they know your quarterback isn't accurate under pressure and can just be bad with his accuracy, period. So I think with Foles, you get this added idea of, attacking the defense vertically. And then on top of that, you also get a guy that is going to see more of the field and a little quicker than Trubisky has. And that's the veteran mentality in him. That's just, comes with the experience. And so for me, I think it's a no-brainer that is Nick Foles is the guy I want under the center. And Trubisky, for what he has shown, he can be effective enough. We're not going to win because of him, though. And so he's suited to be a backup. And as I said with Jalen Hurts and other people, the red zone quarterback is coming. I've been saying it for the last few years. It is a staple in college, even though a lot of their starters are their red zone quarterback, but it's a staple in college now. It's coming to the NFL. And so if we want to bring Trubisky in and Nagy wants to get creative with the packages and use Trubisky in that way, fine. Then we could get some mileage out of him at least instead of just sitting there. But he shouldn't be the starter. There is nothing about what Trubisky has done to be the starter. And I get it. There are some people that blame everyone else and they think Mitch didn't get a fair shake. And that's fine. But if you look at his skill set, just purely on his skill set, please show me how you can deny that this man is not equipped with the starting skill set. He's just not. And so arm talent, yes. Mobility, good. But accuracy, no. Decision making, no. Processing ability, no. And so that none of that has to do with anybody else. All this, hey, you got to create the offense around him to make him a fit. No, yeah, you can, but that does not change what he can do. And so if you got someone else that can do the things he can't that you need, then I think it's simple that's the guy that I want to be my starting quarterback. And so Nick Foles not only has shown those skill sets, but he has shown it on the big stage multiple times. And so, for me, I think it's fairly cut and dry as far as who I would like to see be our starting quarterback. Now, on top of that, as I mentioned before, there is the added element and context that he has not done it consistently. Not to say that he's inconsistent. We just haven't been able, or we should say there's not a large enough sample size of him being the consistent starter. And so there's going to be those questions, and I'm willing to answer those questions just to get the reward of what he could be for our offense. And with Trubisky, to me, there's not many questions. And definitely, even if I was someone that was like, hey, it's everybody else's fault, it's not Trubisky's fault. What did we do that makes you think anything's going to be different? We got a tight end, and I don't care what you say. I shouldn't say that. I should say I've heard almost every argument. I've heard nothing new in a long time, and I still feel the same way. And it's just football. The tight end position isn't magically going to do anything. And I already told you Komet is going to get a lot more looks. And so people are going to automatically act like he's better. And he most definitely could be better. But people are going to act like he's better just because his stats are going to be higher, because he's going to get more looks because of where he was drafted. Now, with that being said, again, no receiver, no tight end can throw the ball to themselves. If you trot Trubisky out there, it does not matter if it's Komet, Travis Kelce, or anybody else. If he's not throwing them the ball, it does not matter. And so you added a tight end. Okay, cool. You added a Fetty who can compete and most likely take the right guard spot. Cool. Little more shored up than Rashad Cowherd. I knew I was going to do it, but Rashad Coward. So we got that. But then, okay, what else? I mean, yeah, Ted Ginn's there. He can challenge vertical, but we had speed before. Like, Taylor Gabriel's not a slow dude. And so we had speed before. What exactly does that change? Bringing in Tariq Cohen and Dave Montgomery, not that Dave Montgomery isn't good, but again, what really has changed? And so I don't have any confidence that the results are going to be that supremely different with Trubisky. And so, yeah, I think it's Nick Foles all the way for me. So anyway, that's it for me. I want to get a quick little hit of Bears action. Go to the comment section. Let me know, who do you want to start between Nick Foles, Trubisky? Who do you think is going to win the competition? And whatever thoughts you might have about that. Share it around. Please share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you. Oh, no, I always do that. Share it around. Thumbs up, subscribe. It's just a rough night, y'all. Stay up and bear down.